I do identify as a European. My mother is British, going back a long way. My father was Greek, but he came to Britain to study and married my mother. Naturalised British. I was born here, grew up in the British system, never lived in Greece, but definitely consider myself European rather than British or Greek. I've had many formative European moments, having travelled throughout my life in Europe one way or another, but a key one, of course, like many people of my generation, was interrailing. A marvellous opportunity to travel around Europe, seeing how different the cultures are and at the same time how people are the same everywhere, and to get a really good feel of this marvellous continent. In my view, rather selfishly, the worst moment in recent European history, leaving aside world wars and other such catastrophes, was probably the Brexit referendum, which will be extremely bad for Britain, in my opinion, and slightly bad for Europe. You've got to say they might be a bit better off without us in some ways, but we bring a certain weight to the party that will be missed, I believe. The best moment in recent European history was the moment at which it became possible to travel and work across Europe freely, without customs, without passport control, without having to worry about imported currency and that kind of thing. Now, when you date that to as a matter of judgment, I suppose, it could be the freedom of movement, it could be the Maastricht open market, or it could be the moment when Eastern Europe joined the EU and you could then have a much wider area to move in. But whenever you date that, I think the best moment was when it became possible to treat the whole of the EU as a single country for practical purposes. I lived admittedly in Switzerland, which isn't in the EU, but while working there, I organised, edited the bulletin of, and organised conferences and meetings for a minor European research society in engineering. And in doing this, I travelled all over Europe, setting up meetings, setting up conferences, editing the bulletins, sending out the journals, all very easily, hassle-free. No problems about customs, no problems about currencies, no problems about VAT, payments, cross borders, that kind of thing. I don't think you could have done that without Europe, and that's been very helpful to me personally and career-wise, I suppose. Obviously, I've had various romantic partners from across Europe, not obviously, but I have, and I appreciate that, but possibly I could have managed that otherwise. But working across Europe wouldn't have been possible without the EU. I would like the EU to become more federal, maintaining the principle of subsidiarity, local decisions made locally where possible, but there should be more solidarity from the richer northern states, as it were, to the poorer southern states. For example, the trouble with the euro. The euro, to my mind, is a great invention, important to keep. It's been heavily challenged. It's still going. No one really wants it to end, as far as I can tell. No serious person who uses it anyway. But it's hard to keep it going without more federal laws and more solidarity between northern and southern states. I would like to see more of that, so the euro can survive and be stable, and in its wake can bring along a better solidarity amongst European countries, more commonality in some ways, more opportunities to travel and work and all that kind of thing. Obviously, I'd love Britain to be part of it.